Yo, it's Babyface Mal. You're watching Take Flight. Let's get it. Makes you feel like you're doing something right, I guess, you know what I mean? Just lights the fire a little bit more. Just want to keep on working. I would have chose the 6'6" boys. Yeah. I don't know, when it came to music, like, obviously at the start I wasn't really grinding too hard, but I just got to a point where it's like, I spent enough time on it, I was like, well fuck, I'm not wasting all that time, so I just went all in. And then like last year, I think it just kind of clicked, like all the practice and like doing everything kind of meshed. And then I think the Baby Boy freestyle and like Miko were the kind of things that just like pushed it in the right direction. And yeah, man, since that, it's been pretty constant kind of rollout, I guess. It's Miko. Nah, like obviously you always hope it's gonna do good, but like that was a very like, it was lockdown and shit, and we were like, fuck, like what are we gonna do? Everyone, even the industry was thinking that because it was the very start. So I don't know, man, I was like, I'm bored, I wanna make music, fuck it, I'm gonna go studio, tell them, film me, and then I'm gonna drop it. And then, yeah, but like, it was just like natural, it was genuine, so that one like felt good that like it blew up, you know what I mean? It wasn't like overdone, we weren't like trying really hard or nothing. It was just like a nice, easy kind of process. If every song was like that, it'd be good as. I don't know, like My Way was just like childish to me. Like that was like it's name from like when I was just moving like amateur, you know what I mean? Like I still got my shit on SoundCloud and shit. It's not like I wanna like erase it, but it's just like, we were like, fuck it. Like my sound at the time was just like, it grew too much from what it was. And I was like, I'm ready, like, let's just come out with something new and then go from there. And at the time, everyone was calling me Babyface. And yeah, I knew there was an R&B guy, Babyface. So I just said, Babyface Mal. But that was pretty natural, man. Like everyone I've linked with is all pretty like genuine and natural. No one's like really trying to force anything. So he's definitely probably the first artist, like big artist that was showing love. And at that time too, he was like, that was when he was dropping and shit like that. So like, I really respected that because obviously you don't have to do that. And yeah, it was like, pull up, we'll see what we do. And I pulled up to his crib one time, but the song we recorded apparently got wiped from the computer. I don't know if I was just trash or whatever, but then eventually like, I had a studio in like his areas and I was like, yeah, pull up. Cause like we're just talking this shit and I was like, yeah, I'm going there now, like pull up. And yeah, we made Snowway. And like that same day I made like the whole tape or some shit, I'm pretty sure. So like, yeah, Nerve was actually, I'm pretty sure that was through 24 Karat Kev, because my people, like obviously 6'6" and like AB and Nelly and shit, like they know 24 Karat Kev just like through just business and shit. And I think they were in Sydney and they must have like showed him, cause like I just recorded Superhero and I think Daughters and Sons. And yeah, they must have showed him and then I think it was just like, fuck, like let's get Nerve on it, you know what I mean? And it worked. Like at first I was like, cause I don't think I ever heard Nerve on a drill beat. So I was like, and he's actually one of the artists that I did want to work with, cause like he's got a good flow, like it's bouncy and shit. But yeah, he fucked it up, he killed it. Yeah, man, like why not work, you know what I mean? Like when you're sick and shit, you can have breaks, but other than that, you can't get time back, you know what I mean? Like I wish I started doing this shit earlier, like, I don't know. Here, I reckon, it's only in recent times where like people were really trying to hustle. Like growing up, being bummy was like the thing to be, you know what I mean? Just like do nothing, just chill, like. But nowadays it's got a good kind of environment for like hustling and shit, so yeah man, why not, you know what I mean? Just keep it up. Go-to, I wouldn't really say I have a go-to be honest. Like, it's whatever I'm feeling, like I go through different vibes, like sometimes some lit drill, like that nowadays is probably just like generally the go-to because it's like, that's what's popping, you know what I mean? So you always gotta kind of have your ear to that. But like, I like everything, man. Like, I don't wanna say too much, but some of the shit I made, I'll show you after the interview. Like just this trip alone is like different. Like my thing, I love bringing different vibes. Like I wanna bring like the creativity back to music. Cause even with rap, like people have gotten a bit complacent. Like rap was more innovative than the other music at the time, you know what I mean? Like they were the ones who were breaking boundaries and all this shit. But nowadays I just feel like everyone's just kind of YouTube, first one, click it, just rap on it, you know what I mean? It's like, I just want to bring I don't know, bring a vibe back, you know what I mean? Well, I think everyone kind of in their head wants to be a great, you know what I mean? If you don't want to be a great, I don't know what you're doing in music, you know what I mean? Like it's pointless. But yeah, man, like it's just kind of, I always just kind of go with the vibes, you know what I mean? And the natural kind of progression, like I've been in music long enough and I'm kind of making enough progress that I think I'm comfortable with taking it seriously, you know what I mean? Because like, look, who knows if like I'm gonna be successful in it, but it's not like out of the picture, you know what I mean? Like you could kind of see it happening if I were to keep on hustling and shit like that. So yeah, it's just like I can take it serious, I can focus, I can try to make different shit, you know what I mean? And be like a pioneer, you know what I mean? I would say song that's out would be Mika and Yeah. But no fun, when I played that at the last On Demand in Sydney, that shit went off. So like, I'd have to say no fun. My upbringing, I don't know, like, actually like growing up wise, it was like, it got to a point in like my area where like the culture, it was all about grime and like it was like be an Eshe, but like a bit more like UK centric, you know, like back in the day, like grime, like No Hoods, No Hats Records, like Lord Rival, Cozzy, Chase and Status, and like the old Skepta, the old Dizzy, like all that shit. That was where like we were at. So we loved that grittiness, you know what I mean? Like the whole kiddohood era. Like that was like, everyone watched that shit. So it was like, I don't know, that grittiness, that kind of do-it-yourself kind of guerrilla way of like thinking was kind of the haps. But then like background-wise, I've just been exposed to all sorts of music. Like my dad loves like Elvis and shit. But then like my parents were also into like TLC and fucking like all like the big kind of R&B shit. So like, I don't know, man, like I've just been exposed to everything, I guess. And I just kind of draw it all together. Well, like the exposure to the music from the cultures, I guess would have like added something. And language-wise, I like to use like a bit of language. Like I don't speak either of them fluently, but I know like a little bit of like Arabic and like a touch of Turkish. But like I think more so I get told like my accent sounds unique. Like I don't personally see it's my accent, I don't know, you know what I mean? But I guess that would come from the backgrounds. So if anything, that would be the biggest thing. Because obviously rap, like accent and your flow and everything is like everything. So I remember back in the day, like I'd send it to the pages and shit. And one of them was like, oh, sorry, man, we only post Australian rap. I'm like, brother, I'm from Melbourne, cuz like, it's fucking cooked, but I don't see it, I don't know. The craziest live show that I've played, like actual set at, would be the last On Demand in Sydney. And that was with everyone too. That was with like JC, fucking 66 Boys, 3K. That was with a bunch of people. But also, obviously, the experience with chilling at, like, pulling me up on stage and shit, like, that was crazy. Like, that crowd, like, he's got good as fans, he's got good as, like, stage presence. Like, I don't know, man, that shit was just like, that shit was lit, you know what I mean? Like, that's the future, I can see it. Yeah, man, me and chilling it, like, he's really, like, showing love, like, trying to kind of bring me a part of shit, you know what I mean? So he's a sick cunt, and obviously he's like very busy, especially nowadays, like he's touring and shit. So like, yeah, we're gonna work, but we're keeping it just like genuine and kind of like not trying to force anything. So like the vibes like a proper, you know what I mean? And Husky been showing love as well. So yeah, we got something in the future coming. I'll announce that sometime soon. But yeah, man, like we're gonna work a lot, obviously. But to be honest, like, yeah, like I'm getting more familiar with that. Like when I was first pulling up socially, but the city is confusing. Everything looks the same. Like in Melbourne, it's like, you're in Fitzroy, it looks like Fitzroy. You're in Paran, it looks like Paran. You're in fucking Werribee, it looks like Werribee. But like here, it's like Parramatta can look like this area, and Newtown can look like this. Like everywhere you drive a couple blocks, it's all the same to me. But like now, I'm kind of starting to recognize a couple things here and there, and it's like, yeah, man, it's becoming a bit more home. And obviously, like we got like the 48 boys that like are our brothers and shit, so they obviously make motherfuckers feel at home all the time. So yeah, that, look, to be honest, but that was quick shit. That was like, I didn't know what to say, and I was like, fuck it, let me just say this. So I was giving hillbilly heroin to the hot girls at school like Lettermans and making opium water with sediments, selling them down and serving them sedatives. Yeah, and good, you fucking got it right. A lot of people say one fun gotta do a lot of no fun. And I'm like, no, it's like not fun. But it's like, yeah, bro, it's pretty like self-explanatory. It's like a lot of motherfuckers like expect goodness, but they're not doing anything, you know what I mean? It's like, if you want fun, you gotta do a lot of shit that is just very not fun. It's boring, it's aggravating, it's stressful. And it's like what I always say, it's like my pin thing on Twitter and everything is like, there's no good without bad. Like this the dunya, not heaven. So like nothing's perfect here. There's always two sides of the fucking coin or whatever. So you just gotta get used to it. Like, doesn't matter who you are, like the Kardashians, Skepta, Donald Trump, fucking whoever. It's like there's always good, there's always bad. So just get used to it, you know what I mean? Venue. Bro, like I always think about doing the circuits that just like they did like back in the day, like anyone from like Rolling Stones, like fucking Madonna, Guns N' Roses, like Elvis, just like I want to do like the circuits that like some of the greats have just like done, you know what I mean? So probably like somewhere in America, because obviously that's where the big circuits like really are, the touring circuits. But I don't know, I guess kind of like a bit like closer to home, doing something like MCG would just be like, it's like sick. Like I used to come here, watch games and shit, and like now I'm sold out stadium type shit. Like that would be pretty cool. But yeah, man, I don't really know. I just like, I like the greats. So anything like the greats have done, like I want to be able to try experience that as best we can. you know what I mean? Like the modern kind of world. It's a bit different, but do what you do, you know what I mean? Just working, man. Just working. Yeah, there's a lot of like business going on like behind the scenes, so that's a bit stressful, but just gotta make the best choices we think. Like, gotta do whatever the best choices are at the moment, you know what I mean? But constant music, like that's gotta remain a constant, you know what I mean? With drops and shit, never getting too distracted. But yeah, I think like the business side of shit is definitely the kind of the big thing this year, you know what I mean? We're in talks with like a lot of people, like from all kind of walks and shit, and we're trying to make sure we all got the same kind of future plans, you know what I mean? Like everyone, inshallah, will see my face soon, you know what I mean? I just hope to 1 year progress like dramatically. Like I should be like top 3 artists in Australia, at least, just by like what people think, you know what I mean? And then I should have something going on in UK, Europe and shit, and I should be on the way to having something on in America. 1 year, that's what I would say. That's why I like dropping so fast and shit, because I want to fast track everything. Like I said, like time doesn't wait for anyone, you know what I mean? Like there's a saying, time tarries for no man. Time and tide tarry for no man. And like, it's facts, so gotta push through, gotta keep going fast, you know what I mean?